Hey there guys, so the last time we saw in the anime, that Nagumo was on his way to get a new harem member, and Princess Lily, but putting her aside. Nagumo enters another dungeon where his bond with his friends and girls is tested. Upon entering, Yui and Tio got separated, and their group faced a monster horde. Just as Koki was about to strike a goblin, Nagumo intervened, because the goblin is Yui and Tio is the same, so they all passes the test quickly, but when they got to the next floor, everything changed, and Nagumo was back to Earth, where he lived with Yui. Tio was also there, and both girls loved him. Notice the odd thing was that Yui and Kaori were trying to get along, as he had wanted. The girls he knew would always do things as they pleases. So Nagumo realized that this is a fake dream world a labyrinth had created to test him. So he broke out of it and passed again. Others were still inside of their own dream world. Yui was in it too and showed no sign of waking up. So Nagumo waits a bit, besides are hoping to hear her voice quickly. His wish got fulfilled as the amber melts away, showing the proof that Yui passed her test. Yui was still warm if he's the real Nagumo. So Nagumo lets her decide that. He knows the Yui in front of him is real. Their lovey atmosphere was great, but behind him Shia was trying to show them she's awake too, by coughing. And moments before the kiss that they realized Shia is awakened. Girl was down that they didn't notice her, like she doesn't even exist. But Nagumo and Yui started to stroke Shia's bunny ears. Well, Nagumo had seen Shia without bunny ear in Dream World, but for him, Shia with bunny ears feels like it's really her. Then he asked her about her dream, and Shia said she met Nagumo before her family was hunted down, lived a normal life, and Shia was always protected by everyone. So she stood up to fight beside Nagumo. Hearing that, Nagumo pulled Shia in her arms, feeling grateful that she was safe. Then Tio woke up too from her perverted dreams. And instantly, she tried to jump in Nagumo's arms, but bro this time stayed calm, showing no anger. Instead, he pats her on head and welcomed her back gently. Then Kaori woke up in panic, saying she didn't mean to avoid Nagumo. Watching her face, it was way too obvious that she saw some delusional perverted dream anyways. Guys from Koki's team were still in their dream world, so Nagumo decided to wait and watch for now. If they don't wake up after they all have their lunch and break time, they'll have to do something. Then, after the lunch time, finally Shizu broke free from her dream. Out of her, she's the only reliable one, and Nagumo welcomed her as well. Seeing that Shizu started to blush and Yui asked her about her dream, she made up it was just a regular dream, nothing else. But it was too suspicious, yet Yui still believed her, and left. But Shizuku had seen she was the princess and Nagumo was her prince, so that leaves the other three. They weren't waking up, so Kaori used her magic to melt the amber and free them. Which means they failed the test, but they don't have time to rest, as Nagumo told them to get ready, because the way to the next floor is open. With it they came to a place filled with tree roots. Tio felt something that it's a bad thing, and their rain starts. Nagumo knew it's not some normal rain, because they were in the dungeon, so Yui created a barrier, and their slime came down. Even Nagumo didn't sense them, and they started to attack everyone, but thankfully it wasn't strong at all. But it did soak their clothes, so Koki was getting distracted seeing the girls. And just like that, they all started to clear out the slimes, but watching girls covered in slime was way too tempting to concentrate and fight. And that's why Nagumo thought of erasing their memories later on. Then, he brought his flame incinerators to burn everything down in the area. After which Yui wanted to put down the barrier, but Nagumo told her not to. But she dispelled it, and Nagumo saw all the guys are on the ground. And Yui held him back, because she wants to sleep with him now. Shia and Kaori arrived asking for the same thing, indicating that all of them were eager to do it, because the slime had aphrodisiac properties, so their bodies began itching to go for it. Nagumo binds those who couldn't control themselves. And their Tio arrived fully unharmed to explain that it's an aphrodisiac effects, but the slime did not cause physical excitement. It's just they messed up their mind, so over time it will get better. Nagumo asked her why she's fine though. Well, Tio was under its effect as well, but for her, Nagumo's punishment makes her more excited than this. Her cringy mind was way too much. So Nagumo used formal language to tell her to stay away from him. Then, he told the girls to fight this thing. Girls were trying to do their best, and Nagumo offered ambrosia if they can't. But the girls refused, and after that, only Koki and his team weren't able to endure it. excluding Shizu. She endured that effect, and she asked Suzu to forget what happened to her. Then, their talk went to the labyrinth. They have entered the Great Tree Labyrinth, which means they are underneath that great tree. So that means the tree on the ground is just the tip of the real great tree, as beneath, its roots stretches out way too much. But then Shia heard some strange noise, and went over at the edge to see what's wrong. She got terrified, so Nagumo took a peek, and saw its cockroaches, millions of them. So he brought the bunny back and told everyone that there are devils down there. No one got what he meant, so Nagumo showed them the amount of devils roaming down there. And girls gave their approval to incinerate everything, but if they try it they all could come up flying. It would mess things up, but their fear had already come to bite them as those menaces came up. But their Suzu came in handy with her barrier ability, but she was running out of mana and fell down, so Yui holds up the barrier. It was just nuts, and Shizu had already left her sanity. But suddenly all the bugs pulled back and formed a large group. They made a magic circle and created a cockroach monster, so the group were ready to fight. But then the bugs excluded high light in the area, and suddenly the lovers, Nagumo and Yui, became bloodthirsty enemies of each other. But this is where our episode 7 ends. Yet stay tuned to watch more of its episode on my channel, and for that subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Till then, take care.